In this first of 5-part video, we will explain our proposals for what should be included in a new Dumfries to Stranraer Railway Feasibility Study. Starting with Phase 1, Part A, Dumfries to Kirkcudbright. The journey begins at Dumfries Station. We can add 2 bay platforms to the existing 2 lines by moving the car park on the old platforms over the boundary wall that houses the cycle path. The cycle path can be retained, but moving it further back, this would allow for an increased number of services to access the station with the reopening of the line to Stranraer. The route would continue on the existing line until it branches off at the old junction, which is still there. Then it would continue over the Queen of the South Bridge, which is currently used for a cycle track. This cycle track can be relocated to a purpose-built route adjacent to the railway. The line then arrives at Kircudbright Retail Park, an ideal location for a station. It would support the local Lockside Sandside area and the retail outlets on site. There's room for 2 platforms and is an ideal park and ride station being located just off the A75, A76 main roads. Next we arrive at Maxwell. There was a station here when the line was first opened. After the station closed, the goods yard was converted into an oil bin, which has since closed. This would be an ideal train care and storage sidings to accommodate the extra units needed for the additional services to Stranraer. The line arrives at Cairnryan, an ideal station location near the new Dumfries and Galloway Royal Infirmary. It would provide transport links for the hospital, local settlement and the nearby industrial site. There's room for 2 platforms, making it an ideal park and ride station located just off the A75. The line now nears Goldie Viaduct, one of several impressive structures on the route. Originally carrying 2 tracks, the viaduct was strengthened after World War II, as most structures on the line were, to carry scrap metal from the decommissioning of warships at Cairnryan. The line then travels through open countryside to Dalbeattie. There are options for stations to transport local villages and passes, as did the original railway. If the line is to be built single track, there are options to build passing loops to relieve the congestion. Finally we reached Dalbeattie, the first of several large towns on the route, isolated due to the railway closure. The original route passes through the town, hugging the hill it sat on. Most of the original route has been developed into housing, but a station on the outskirts would be a viable option. It would provide extra parking, a straighter path, and reduce noise pollution in the town. Here we rejoin the original route heading towards Castle Douglas. This stretch is mostly unoccupied, with only cuttings and embankments required to be constructed. Next, the line diverges from its original route heading towards the south end of Castle Douglas. The original route is heavily developed, so a more southerly approach would provide more parking space and reduce noise pollution in the town. The new Castle Douglas station site is now reached. It's been relocated to avoid town centre disruption and compulsory purchase costs during the construction. The new site is close enough to provide a good service, but far enough to prevent noise pollution as previously mentioned. Now we pass the potential junction location of the route to New Galloway. We will discuss this in our next video. Here we rejoin the original route heading towards Kircudbright. This stretch, like most of the route, is mostly unoccupied, with only cuttings and embankments required to be constructed. Next, the line deviates from its original path. Taking a northerly approach, this will provide less restrictive entry into the town and place the station on the north side of the River Dee. This would enable further expansion for a coastal route to Stranraer if the original route is deemed unsuitable. Finally, we reach the new Kircudbright station. The station is located near the housing estate and caravan park. Like Castle Douglas, the new site is close enough to provide a good service, but far enough to prevent noise pollution. For more information, please visit brtarail.com or scan the QR code on screen now.